What?
Good start.
Yeah.
Me and Matt, I'm here with Killer Kyle, and I didn't wash my face. Shit. I was in Starbucks today getting chocolate wasted. But, anyways, welcome to another Wheels of Fury vlog. Not vlog, vlog.
Vlog, yeah.
And yeah. So this weekend, we got Halloween Havoc.
Yes, sir.
We've got
Symphony of Horrors.
Symphony of Horrors. There's a AAA show. Immortals or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, I didn't watch Dynamite.
Yeah, it was an okay show.
Yeah. And I honestly didn't watch Raw. I saw a review, kind of. And it looked like it was mid, so I didn't really bother watching it.
Right, yeah.
So it's like fucking they have it looks like CM Punk and Jey Uso.
Well, CM Punk and Jey Uso, yeah, for the world title, because of course Seth, well, you can see, well, Seth's no longer champ because he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's that.
And people are, from what I heard, upset because we had Braun Breaker, who should be champion but is not, and it's almost like they're playing it safe with Jey Uso again, and I actually agree with that. I mean, I said this about Tony Storm and AEW. I feel like they're giving the same person a shot at the title, and it seems like, okay, Jay's already been the champion. How about we move on? Now we got CM Punk in the picture, and he was champion for like 20 minutes.
At least.
So, if anything, give him the title.
Yeah, give him the title. Give him a solid run with the title. And then do whatever you want with it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, could they have done, somebody else other than Jay and Punk? Yeah. But they went the route that they did. I feel like with Jay and Punk, it's too, like, I'm not saying that they can't do this with the rest of the roster, but like with Jay and Punk, they're two of the guys that you can rely on for big matches, if you will, championship matches, main event matches, whatever.
Right.
And they put on a good performance. Now, I mean, there is other people on the roster that for sure are, well, can be main event stars. It just seems like they went with old reliable, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, there's nothing wrong with playing it safe, but at the same time, you have to explore a little bit. And LA Knight still needs a title run at some point.
Yeah.
And Sam Punk needs a longer title run.
Right.
Braun Breaker.
We'll get there.
Yeah. And so it's like, is it a bad thing? No. But I understand where a lot of people are coming from.
I feel like when Seth is healed, they will, can like go on with the storyline of, Division turning on Seth, and Seth wanted to get revenge on them and whatnot.
Right.
The thing I found interesting is you have Braun Breaker spears Seth. Bronson gives him the tsunami, and then it feels like okay, division turned on Seth. And then of course gives Seth time off, and he's injured. You know, you have uh, Breaker holding up the title, with Heyman holding up Bronson and Breaker's arms, and then on Monday he's got the title still. It's like, what was the purpose of that? Just to be like, I should be a world champion. I'm not. This belt belongs to me, and it's like, well, no, you didn't earn it. You didn't win it.
No.
You stole it. Well, stole it, but like, yeah, it was just a weird thing.
Well, when you look at Jey Uso winning the title at WrestleMania, it was almost like, okay, we finally put the belt on him.
Yeah,
But I will say this: I don't think a lot of people liked him as the champion, but
right.
I feel like he was much better as a champion than Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because Kofi has a lot of potential.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially back then, but
yeah.
He was the guy who was still the fun-loving, dancing New Day, whatever, yeah.
New Day member.
And then, of course, Big E was the guy who was more of a believable WWE champion.
Yeah.
In my opinion, of those three. Now, I feel too like Xavier won't get it. Or should get it. I don't even know if he will or not.
Should he get it? Yeah, you could say that. Will he? I don't know.
But yeah, I just didn't really bother watching it. I should have watched Ups and Downs, but
yeah,
it's like Raw is one of those things, and WWE is starting to become that whole thing where it's like they're bowing down to the Saudi crowd or the country in general. There's a whole, and there's 2 videos about it too. Like Mo from Men on a Mission, or Rob Horner passed away.
Yes.
And apparently, like before this, WWE, well, it was rumored that they wouldn't pay for his kidney transplant, but I don't think that would. I don't know, because I know Triple H and Paul Levesque, and if he's the guy I think he is, I could see that kind of happening, but I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I mean, Men in a Mission basically have been not mentioned for years.
Yeah. And, once Mabel went on his own, and he had a very successful solo career, Mo just disappeared.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there was Mabel winning King of the Ring.
Right.
And then he did have Sir Mo or whatever.
Yeah.
Poor Undertaker, though.
Yeah.
Actually, Undertaker, Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Because Mabel broke Taker's orbital bone.
Yeah.
And then he broke Kevin's back. So, he was kind of a liability, unfortunately. And as his career got further, like Yokozuna, he ballooned in size, which I'm surprised he still stayed in the company for as long as he did.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, I mean, he was quite popular.
He should have gotten a title run, that's for sure.
Well, yeah.
If not WWF, then at least Intercontinental.
Yeah.
Like, he was that good.
Oh, yeah.
He was a big man. But unfortunately, like Yokozuna and Big Van Vader, like, they were overweight and they kind of feared for their lives. So, I mean, the company.
Yeah.
So it was like, take the program or leave, I guess.
Pretty much.
But
yeah.
I thought I was gonna burp. Anyways.
yeah.
But yeah. And then there's also controversy about Wrestle Dream with the main event.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I love death matches, obviously. And it's like, I don't think, or I don't even know if they went well. I think the tank was a bit much. Actually, no, I think that part was fine. It was the whole Moxley trying to do a manicure with the skewers.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that was squeamish.
Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of people out there that are too desensitized
Yeah.
to the business.
Yep.
Because you got to realize that, okay, AEW, when they do stipulation matches, they are going to go the above and beyond, if you will,
Yeah.
to entertain the fans and also give them something to remember and, well, shock value.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing with AEW. There is an intention, a purpose, and a reason behind them doing what they do, whatever match stipulation it is, match type it is. Other companies, I feel like they just do things for shock value, if you will. With AEW, like I said, they're they want to entertain, they want to shock people, and they also want to like make it exciting and interesting.
One thing that James, I can't remember his, James Romero said was doing it in a pay-per-view, I understand.
Yeah.
But when you put a match like that on Dynamite, it's almost like why would you give that away for free? So I understand that, and I do agree. Like, if you're gonna do a hardcore match or anything to that extreme, then you should put that on a pay-per-view. Don't put that on a Dynamite or a Collision. But look at Blood and Guts. That's pretty much a Dynamite show.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
I feel like saying, why would you have a street fight, a hardcore, something like that on an episode? Like, you shouldn't do that on an episode of Dynamite is nitpicking. Because what's not to say that they can't pull that off on a Dynamite? I mean, that's like saying, oh, you should only have your championship, like your main titles, your big championship, only defended on your big shows. There's been many times where the AEW title has been defended on a Dynamite. The TBS Championship defended on a Dynamite. The tag titles defended on a Dynamite. The TNT title defended on a Dynamite. The AEW Women's Championship, I believe, has been defended on Dynamite. AEW doesn't do the stipulation matches near as much on Dynamite as they do for the big shows. They do it once in a while, and they do it when it fits within reasoning. It fits the storyline that they're going with. I mean, look at what they've done so far with the Hurt Syndicate and the Demand. You know, they did, okay, on World Wrestle Dream, they did a tornado tag match. But before that, they did a street fight. Before that, they had a whatever it was of the last pay per view and whatever. That's to work in the feud they've got going right now with the Hurt Syndicate and the Demand, and whatever other feuds they've got going on right now at the time.
Yeah. I mean, look at Halloween Havoc.
Right.
You have.
Yeah, you're going to have a Broken Rules match. You're going to have a Day of the Dead match.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it. So, and I mentioned this before, TNA used to have a lot of the pay-per-views, if you will, on free TV. Lethal Lockdown, or I believe Bound for Glory at one time or another. Victory Road, they were all shown for free. And it's like, if you want to make something special, have it on a pay-per-view. That's why when ECW finally did a pay-per-view, it was a big deal. Well, it kind of was, because, again, ECW was extreme. They had extreme matches all the time.
Exactly.
So it was like, I don't know, honestly, what the difference was. But yeah, basically, if you're going to do a match like that, don't put it on free TV. Put it on a pay-per-view. Because that means that's going to be special. It was also said that ladder matches are shown a lot more than usual, but at the same time, I do disagree with that. They're on mostly pay-per-views. I don't remember the last ladder match on Raw or SmackDown. Or even NXT, actually. But anyway. Well, I don't know. Well, I can't think of anything else to say.
I was watching a video that Maven did, and he was talking about why he doesn't watch WWE.
Yeah, I just saw that.
And he had some interesting points. I mean, some of the points he made was pretty much stuff so he was talking about how he doesn't watch WWE anymore because of, all the amount of advertising they do now.
Yeah.
Advertising on the canvas. This match is sponsored by Slam Jim. This match is sponsored by XYZ. He was talking about, when he wrestled, you have you know, Snickers ad, you come back from commercial, or a Slim Jim, or a whatever it was. And then he was talking about how matches feel like they're too choreographed, and it's too much of a dance, and it's too perfect. Well, I wouldn't say perfect, but like it doesn't feel as gritty and as raw as it used to. And it's like, shouldn't matches be a, like a dance? Be, both people on the same page. You know, one move to the next, to the next. I'm gonna say it's gonna happen. Yes, that's the way the fucking business is. Nobody's fucking perfect.
Nope.
I mean, yeah, you do have times where it's spot, wait, spot, wait, spot. What are you gonna do about that? You really can't do anything about that.
No.
And then he was like, the main point he made was he doesn't watch WWE because he doesn't really feel this way now, but he did have some like bitterness and resentment towards WWE for his firing in 2005. And then he also he's like, if I watched WWE, I'd be like, oh, this should have been done like this should have been done like that, I would have done this way. Why wasn't it? Very, nitpick. Well, yeah, nitpicky, and oh, I can still do that. And his mind be like, oh, I can still do that, even though he knows he can't. And so he just doesn't bother watching WWE anymore, which I mean, I get.
One thing I will agree with Maven on is that, yes, since going on Netflix, they've definitely advertised the shit out of anything and everything product wise. Like, I don't care about what's on the ring apron or anything on the mat. Just fucking wrestle. And then you have the tables with the Slim Jim logo. And so I talk about pay-per-views or premium live events, whatever. You save all that shit for those things. When you look at Netflix, and it's a big deal, but at the end of the day, people don't care about products and advertising on the ring post or their apron or whatever. They just want to see the show. Like, you don't have to do that. You just say at the beginning, and at the beginning of the show, go, this episode or whatever is brought to you by Snickers or Starburst or whatever. Papa John's, but...
And see, that's the way it was back.
Yeah.
20 years ago. Yeah. And now it's like, they just... they got all the advertising on the canvas, on the turnbuckles, the Slim Jim tables, and the LED barricade has got whatever else. And I mean, like, I think that was just part of the deal going to Netflix. Yeah, it's great that you have, you know, WWE go to Netflix, and it's this, Netflix is this huge streaming service and whatnot. And yeah, okay, you have all these advertisements, but like, okay, you may look and go, oh, they've got such and such on the canvas, such and such here, such and such there. But if you're focusing more on that than you are the match, then the matches really aren't that good.
Exactly.
Because you should be able to focus on the match more than focusing on, you know, whatever is on the ring, around the ring, whatever. Yeah, you notice it, but like to constantly be, thinking about it is like, in my opinion, that should be in the back of your mind.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as watching somebody in the crowd with like a sign or somebody with like a flashy shirt. When you're like, well, me especially because I get distracted easily, squirrel. Like, if you're trying to watch a match, then at least dim the lights on the audience like it used to. I mean, they probably still do at some point, but at the same time, it's like you're focusing on the wrestling. And that's kind of why I made the gripe about the beach ball thing a couple years ago. If you're watching a match and you see this thing floating around the audience or even the wave, yeah, they're having fun, whatever. I don't care. Your sole purpose as a viewer watching at home is to try to stay focused on wrestling. And sometimes that could be even difficult. Just because it depends on the match, I guess. Well, especially if a match goes too long.
Yeah.
But I think that saying it's more like a dance, I don't understand what that means.
Like, I think what he meant by that is you know, you look back, when Maven was wrestling, or, yes, wrestlers would, go over what they're going to do before the match or, call it in the ring. It just seems like it's, there's too much of, well, I've noticed that the WWE would do a really good job at hiding when the wrestlers were talking to each other. And it seemed like there
Yeah.
was, seamless trans sequences of going one move to the next, to the next, to the next. And there still is that, but it seems to be that the, they are showing more than they used to,
Right.
which I don't really think makes that much of a difference because, like, it really doesn't take away from the match that much
Yeah.
unless you're like really focusing on it and like, oh, he said this, and whatever. I like you don't really notice a whole lot
No.
when spots are being called. Let's say I've really noticed a lot more now with Cena matches. You can see him clear talking to whoever he's in the ring was clear as fucking day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you look back to the match him and Brock had. Him and Brock were, well, yeah, him and Brock were, communicating with each other. I mean, like, that's, I don't know, what they do, but, like, back at, the wrestlers used to do a lot better job at hiding it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they still do, but, like, see, yeah, Cena, you can really tell you just see it plain as day.
Yeah. And that's the thing about wrestling shows. Like, and yeah, of course, it got exposed like everything else in the wrestling business, but it's like it happens
Yeah,
and you try to forget about it and enjoy the show, but at the end of the day, you know that they're calling spots in the ring.
yeah.
So,
And I mean, there have been, or there has been the odd time where you will hear something being said from one wrestler to another, but generally not that often.
no,
You're more likely gonna like see them saying something rather than hear it.
it's almost as bad as blading.
Well, yeah,
You know, they try to hide that as good as possible, but you kind of can tell when it's out of frame, when they're out of frame
yeah.
after they were thrown to the steps or the turnbuckle.
Steps, turnbuckle, post.
Yeah. So, in that aspect, yeah, when people say wrestling is fake, I think, yeah, that part of it, sure. Which I hate to say it, but it's true.
Yeah,
Like, I was talking to a friend of mine, and it's almost like, well, it's like when they expose movie scenes.
well, yeah,
It's like I don't necessarily want to know how the sausage is made and whatever the hell that means. But like, is it right to leave that stuff out, or do you want to tell everybody?
I mean, you look at what they've done recently with what the hell is that show called? The show they just recently came out with on Netflix, and there was a heel turn from Cena, and
Oh, Extreme Rules.
no,
No, not Extreme
not the
Rules.
paper, no, behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's on Netflix. Anyways, with that, and then you look at like, okay, Maven's channel. He has, talked a lot about things that, how things are done in wrestling, and you know, blading, and how to take moves safely, and whatever else. And I think it's almost as if they've go if we like we'll give everybody the pieces of the puzzle and we'll let them figure out how to put it together without telling them how to put it together.
Right.
Because, yeah, they, uh, you're getting a lot of behind the scenes stuff with WWE and, showing into the writer's room and, kind of leading up to whatever pay per view, Raw, this or that. But, like, there's still some things that they're. I'm sure there's a lot of people. There's still some things that people are going, okay, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that?
It's like magicians.
Yeah.
Like people like me who are gullible go, "Oh my god, that's so cool." But at the end of the day, they're gonna, well, at some point, expose the trick.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just it. With wrestling, it's like, and I knew when I was a kid, and I probably talked about this, I knew that those wrestlers that were in the ring were performing.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that Undertaker wasn't a dead man. I knew that the Berserker wasn't some kind of Viking,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. But I think there's that mystique.
Yeah.
That's like, but you have to know that they're playing a part.
And see, that's the thing. Even though you know they're playing a part, you still have, even though you know they're playing a part, there's belief is still suspended.
Yes. Like,
And I think that's WWE's goal. Yeah, they may give you behind the scenes stuff, but they're still gonna give like they're still going to have everybody be like, when something happens, it's like, holy shit, that just fucking happened. Why the fuck did that happen? Who did it? Why did the Vision turn on Seth Rollins?
right.
To your point of magicians revealing secrets. Okay, yes, a magician will show. Let's say they do a card trick, and then they show you how to do the card trick. Once they show you how to do the trick, it's up to you to practice, do the trick over and over again till you get it right. And like, hey, show your friends, show your family, whatever. They will give you, like I said, they'll give you the pieces of the puzzle. It's up to you to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah. Like, people give Chris Angel a lot of flack because the non-believers, if you will, oh, that guy's so full of shit. That's kind of like mediums in a way, or psychics. Like, oh, they know the history or they look up the history from you, or they have somebody ask you questions about your dead relative. So when you go on in the audience, they're going to pick you out and they're going to, it's something like that. And I think, again, that's not for you. Like, you have to let that person who does believe in that stuff, let them believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't try to spoil that shit,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I used to watch John Edwards. He was a famous medium at the time.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then they did a show where it wasn't exactly him, but they decided to say that exact same thing. Like, somebody would come find somebody and, hey, why are you here? And then they would say why they were there. And then they would tell John, and then now that's only a rumor. I have no idea how that stuff works.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, okay. Sometimes they're accurate. Sometimes you have people that are accurate. That is a real thing,
Yeah.
But sometimes people will pretend to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I have a feeling being a psychic or a medium is would almost be like having borderline personality disorder. Only in the sense of like, you know, I'm sure they can like shut it off, but like,
Yeah.
when you're, uh, you know, doing a reading. I'm sure there's comp or doing a show like John Ayers used to do or whatever. It probably just have a whole bunch of voices in their heads. I would imagine.
Yeah, I've heard like people who are psychic, like they would go into a room with a bunch of pictures on the wall. They would have to leave because they're getting all these like voices and shit,
Yeah.
you know. But that's just it. Like I feel that stuff is real, and yeah, I feel, and it's like sometimes they can be phony, obviously.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, A, how did you know that? Unless you just guessed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, anyways. And, yeah. So, tomorrow night is Halloween Havoc.
Yes, sir.
And we also have
Symphony of Horrors.
Symphony of Horrors. And then the two triple, is it just one triple A?
I believe it's only one AAA show.
So it'll be another fun-filled weekend of wrestling.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, watch our Halloween Havoc prediction video
Yes, sir.
with Pox. And yeah, it's soon to be one of the best times of the year. So, anyways, I mean, that's all I have.
Yeah. Really isn't a whole lot else to talk about that I can think of.
But anyways, we'll talk to you later. Me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle. And yeah. Deuces.
Later.